Football's obviously in full swing right now with fall camp underway, but with all the sports in Knoxville, the success, the hype around them, it's never too early to start talking about the others. Right now, we'll talk some Tennessee basketball. Just reading up on some stuff around Tennessee basketball, seeing different quotes from Rick Barnes, seeing different just stuff from around the country. There's starting to be some buzz now. I know some of the preseason polls doesn't necessarily put Tennessee at the top, but what I'm going to take a look at in this video is the reason why some of the hype is starting to build and why this could possibly be Rick Barnes' best and deepest team. Hit that like. If you know anybody that has not found the content, please share it out. That's kind of word of mouth, helps greatly. And then, obviously, if you have not already hit that subscribe button, it is free. If you want to say thanks, bottom right-hand corner, super thanks options are greatly appreciated. Tennessee basketball, though, normally late October, early November is when things kind of get started. Obviously, they have the exhibition game against Duke in October, which will be pretty cool. If you're in Knoxville, I think it's on a Sunday night. I don't have the date pulled up right off the top of my head. You can go to UT Sports and find that, though. But just reading a lot about what Rick Barnes has had to say about the program and stuff. This, to me, if you look at, if you just want to look at the star rankings from high school, these guys, it's not going to stack up the highest on paper, all right? But we've seen it. These guys are pretty good at scouting. Now, they had some departures over the last few years for sure. Now they're starting to get it where it gels. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think if anybody hit the portal after this last season. I don't think so. I think it would have been kind of crazy. Well, besides Cam Carr, which was a decision that will never make sense because he would have fit perfectly on this team. But let's focus on who's here. And I'm going to say something that people may say is just absolutely blasphemous. We know what Zakai Ziegler meant to Tennessee basketball, how good he was, set numerous records there, will go down as one of the best point guards that ever played at Tennessee. I still don't think he's the best that played there, but he's one of them. There is buzz building that Jacoby Gillespie may be an actual upgrade. All right, you take with that what you will. I've seen that quote in numerous circles. People are hesitant to say it, but the thing that has stood out from those in the media who watched in attendance, this guy can shoot the lights out, Jacoby Gillespie. His leadership, his command of the court, and just his ability to shoot says he could be an upgrade. All right. Now, you guys know my stance on Ziegler when I've talked Tennessee basketball. Loved him as a player. There's games. He's streaky, though. He's streaky at the three-point line, streaky at the free throw line as well. Heck of a point guard. Don't get me wrong with that. But I did feel that each year, obviously sophomore year when he got hurt was not, but the last 2 years when Tennessee got put out, I didn't feel like he was anywhere to be seen in those games against Houston and Purdue, respectively. Nothing bad to say about the guy, though. But anyhow, this is what I'm reading, that just the stuff they're saying about Jacoby Gillespie is very, very high regard. And then I'll go even one further, because we've had debates on here, some of us, on how Tennessee spent their money. Some of you said they shouldn't have went and spent how much they went and spent on Nate Ament. They should have put it into the portal. I disagree on it. I think the reason they went in on him, and Rick Barnes said it this week, they felt that Nate Ament was the number one player in the country. They love everything about him, what he brings. The Durant comparisons have been there. And, Rob Lewis or Volquest, I'm not sure if it's Rob Lewis or Grant Ramey because it doesn't have the quote, but said that they're trying to temper expectations, but some are suggesting they won't be surprised if Ament is in the National Player of the Year conversation this year. This guy's not being brought in to score 12 points a game or 14 points a game. He's being brought in to be a major part of this squad. And it's even been said he can run some point guard. So you could possibly go Ament running point, Gillespie playing off with as good as he shoots the ball. Because what we're looking at, too, is the one question I still have is at the 2 guard. But I think Amari Abram is a good pickup. But Daniel Berg, the Israeli transfer, we really won't know much about him. And him nor Clarence Masamba, neither one are on campus right now. They're apparently still with their national teams, from what I've seen, maybe some kind of tryouts. So it'll be later when they get there. Obviously, they've not gone through summer workouts and stuff. But with this team, and, thing as well, I've seen good reports on Bishop Boswell, and I've seen good reports. They added Troy Henderson late, but the reports on him seem to be really, really good. A guy who can shoot, he can handle it along the way. So this could be another one of those underrated Rick Barnes pickups, kind of like Zakai Ziegler was along the way. You look at it with Gillespie, with Ament, and I cannot stress this one enough. I love the pickup of Jalen Carey. We have not had that bruiser type since Grant Williams, a guy who is not afraid to get dirty, a guy who's not afraid to beat and bang, and a guy who's not afraid to get in your face on it either. I mean, we saw it when Vanderbilt and Tennessee played last year. He and Ziegler got teed up going at it. Love it. Love it what they had. And he's already said he is hyping up Nate Ament, saying he's a real deal Kevin Durant. And he said, I'll be his bodyguard this year too. They're going to protect Nate Ament. Nate Ament, as I've seen, of course, he's been battling apparently a wrist injury, but Rick Barnes had specifically said last week, if it were a game, yes, we're being cautious, but said if it were a game, he'd be playing with it. They're going to protect Nate Ament, and he's not going to have to get down due to the beating and banging. He's not going to play the 4 nor the 5. He's going to play anywhere from the 3, the 2, or the 1. That's where he's going to be at. Amari Abram is a guy who will do the dirty work. He said he's not afraid to do the dirty work, but he has some experience. He's an experienced guy, and he can shoot. And then you add in, they've talked about just how much better Felix Okpara has looked, that he's developed a little bit. It seems like maybe a 10-foot game or something. Cade Phillips are talking about him playing some 3. For him to do that, he's going to be able to shoot the 3. And I've still really not seen a lot on how that's looked. They've said they've not seen a lot of it. But J.P. Estrella is coming back good from injury. He does have that ability at 6'11" to step out and shoot the 3, which is a weapon as well. And I mean, again, you add in Amari Evans, true freshman, and they've talked high on him. Dwayne Brown. Feel like I'm forgetting somebody along the way on all this, but I feel like hype is building. Some of the preseason polls I've had has had Tennessee outside the top 10. If all these things, to me, I'm looking at, this looks like a pretty good shooting team, especially if Daniel Berg comes in and adds, 22 years old, has 3 years of eligibility, and he's known to be a good shooter in the Israeli league. And he's playing against over there. I mean, like, for example, I saw Kyle Alexander, former Vols, playing over there. So he's playing against good competition, guys who played in college and were pretty good players in college as well. So it's not like he's over here playing against the high school league or anything. He's played good competition. So, with a guy like that, how long does it take him to kind of, implement himself in? But if he adds some shooting, that's another one. Abram can shoot. Gillespie and Ament are supposed to be lights out shooters. I'm telling you, man, every team on campus this year is going to be stacked as far as who I'll talk about. I'm hyped on football. Even though I've not come off a 9-3, I like this team. Basketball, I like it because I feel like there's numerous guys who can take over. I don't feel it's as streaky of guys as we've seen. Will there be a Dalton Connect? I don't know. I don't know that Nate Ament will be Dalton Connect, but I think Nate Ament will be close. I'll tell you that right now. And I would go as far as say Jacoby Gillespie too. He averaged, around 16 at Maryland? I could see that go up a little bit as well. And here's another reason why, the hype. Rick Barnes is not an easy guy to police, as we all know, in terms of basketball. He gets on the guys. He's pretty strict on them. but they asked him his level of satisfaction on a scale of 1 to 10 for the summer. Rick Barnes said, my level of satisfaction is a 10. That's all I need to know right there. This team's going to be fun. I don't want to wish my life away. All these sports are going to be fun, whether it's football, basketball. Lady Vols basketball is going to be stacked. Tennessee baseball is going to be stacked. It is a fun year-round thing right now in Knoxville. And, yeah, I'll take the everything school over just one team being great and the rest of them sucking. Just my opinion on it. But you guys have a great rest of your Friday. Got one more coming today where we'll hype up some baseball here in a little bit too. Been meaning to get to that, so definitely want to probably going right into that after this. But have a great rest of your Friday, and I'll see you when I see you.